Why is Nikki Haley not getting the message and stepping aside? This is your dad's run against Biden to win. Get her out of the way, will you?
Yeah. Well, because she's doing the bidding of the Democrats and the establishment. I mean, like you said, that party is over. That party has been done for a long time. It should have been done a lot sooner, but they didn't have a force that could actually stop the nonsense. Donald Trump came in, realized that, hey, you can put America first. You can put the hardworking people of this country first. You can actually fight for them. And guess what? Shockingly, you can actually get results if you don't try the same old failed policies of the uni-party in Washington, D.C. That worked. We saw real wage growth for the lowest income earners. We were actually signing peace deals in the Middle East, the things that everyone has talked about for half a century, but no one's ever been able to accomplish because we're ruled by idiots. They're great at being bureaucrats. It's sort of like Anthony Fauci. He was never a good doctor. He was certainly never the best doctor, but he was the best bureaucrat. If someone got in his way, he'd figure out how to stab them in the back and make them a non-entity. He learned how to work the media and the press to make it seem like he knew what he was doing, despite a 40 years of failure within his career in the field of medicine. Let's
take a listen to Nikki Haley. And here's the problem with this. She doesn't go after your dad for policy differences that she has with him. Oddly enough, she's using the Democrat strategy. She's going after him over age. Listen.
Are we really in this country going to have two 80-year-olds running for president? It is a fact that when you are their age, you have mental decline. I don't care who you are. You have mental decline. He didn't just get me confused. He mentioned it over and over and over again. Yeah. He's not what he was in 2016. He has declined. That's a fact.
Your thoughts?
Well, listen, I think it's laughable. I don't think there's anyone who's actually being intellectually honest that wouldn't say that regardless of age, Donald Trump has far more energy than Nikki Haley, is far more intelligent than Nikki Haley, has real world experience, unlike Nikki Haley, in terms of getting these things done for the American people. And what's really unique, Eric, about 2024 is now you have two people, really, because it's a two-person race. Despite what Nikki Haley says, it ain't her and Trump. It's Trump and Joe Biden. You have two people, and you will have 4 years of track record to run on. You don't get to see that. Normally, you get to see what we get from politicians, which is a lot of talk. But you have 4 years of record under Trump. Now you have 3.5 years under Biden, and it's a disaster. No one can look at those two things and say that Joe Biden's going to keep failing the American people and they're going to vote for it, because that's exactly what you've gotten out of his presidency. Under Trump, you had peace and you had prosperity. Sort of a no-brainer. Right now, you have the opposite of that, as we're on the verge of multiple fronts and multiple wars that Nikki Haley would love to keep going so that she can keep board seats on Boeing and do whatever that she's been doing as a neocon warmonger for the last 30 years.
So she put out this a gag, I guess, that she's trolling your dad with this fake costume, weakest general election candidate ever. Meanwhile, let's put up that poll that came out today, guys, the South Carolina poll. I think whatever she's doing ain't working. It's got Trump 58, Haley 32 in South Carolina, the state she was governor of for a long time.
Yeah, listen, no one knows her better than the people of South Carolina. No one else in the country knows who she is otherwise. Couldn't tell you any of her accomplishments. And it seems, based on all the endorsements of every major South Carolina politician, they understand just how bad Nikki Haley is, just how much of a phony and a fake she is. And they also understand that she's a neocon rhino warmonger. So these are all big deals. She's going to lose her home state that she claims she did such a great job being a governor by 30-something points. That's a big deal. If that doesn't tell you literally everything you need to know about Nikki Haley and what those who know her best think of her, I got no other help for you, but she's going to lose that. She's not even on the Nevada caucuses next. She didn't qualify for other states because all it is a plan working with the Democrats and working with the rhinos in D.C. to make it harder for Trump to win. Force them to spend more money, time, effort, energy, blood, sweat, tears, so that we can't take on the real problem, which is Joe Biden and ultimately the Democrat policies that have been failing our nation, that have left our border unchecked, that have allowed human trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking to go out of control. there. Our economy spiraling out of control. Inflation through the roof. Wars in the Middle East and in Eastern Europe and all over the place. This is what we've gotten because of Democrat policy. And Nikki Haley is working on the team with the Democrats to allow us to suffer through another 4 more years of that garbage. And Americans have had enough, Eric.
You know, Don, I wanted to get to one more thing, but it just strikes me while we're talking here. Nikki Haley, if she doesn't drop out after losing South Carolina by 20-plus points or 30, whatever the number is, it's clear that she's being supported by some people not.
Eric, it's clear anyway, but yes.
Okay, fair enough. RFK, too. Tell me about third-party candidates and that effect. And, you know, I personally think I like the guy. I like RFK, too, not as president, but I think I want him in there because I think it only fortifies Donald Trump if RFK, too, stays in the race.
Well, you know, it was interesting. I saw it sort of started like 9 months ago. He was appearing in my social feeds from people I don't follow, but they were force feeding it down there because I think they were trying to create, you know, a cudgel to Trump, someone else. But the reality is RFK is a radical liberal who happens to be anti-vax. That may be the one policy where he leans a little bit right. But he was for open borders for his entire life. He's against farmers. He was a radical environmentalist. He was super anti-gun. You know, he says he's changed his mind. He's changed his mind on everything that he did for decades. Everything magically 6 months ago. I don't believe that. So, you know, he's a phenomenal alternative to Joe Biden as a Democrat, but he is a radical Democrat. Again, the only place where he's historically ever differed from anything coming out of the Biden administration is that he's anti-vaccine. That's not enough. I think once people look at the record, it will speak for itself. So I think he's a great alternative as a Democrat. You know, maybe if people want to vote that way. But if you're going to vote for RFK, I see he's trying to get libertarians now. I'm like, again, he's anti-vax, but literally everything else would not be libertarian. But, you know, it's all part of the machine to try to stop Trump, as far as I'm concerned. And again, I think he's certainly a better viable option, you know, than Joe Biden for the Democrats. But he's no conservative. Let's not kid ourselves.
Don, today, DeSantis said he's sending, you know, a group, some 900 troopers from Florida to help the southern border, the state of Texas southern border. I think it's great. I'm thrilled he's doing that. Your father becomes the next president. What's the first thing he does to secure the border, do you think?
He said it himself. We're going to close the border. We're going to do and initiate the policies that we did. We're going to start the deportations. I mean, you see the criminals. They're beating up cops in the streets of New York, and they're let out without bail. You had 150 Democrats and 155 Democrats on 2 different issues. If illegals commit Social Security fraud, there was 150 or 155 Democrats that said nothing should happen to them. There was another 150 on another insane issue that, you know, that if they get DUIs, they should not be deported. We are not bringing in the finest people. If you're a computer programmer, if you're some genius from all over the world that would add value, create jobs, not simply be a dependent to the Democrat Party, you can't get in. You have no chance. But if you commit Social Security fraud and take American taxpayer dollars for your benefit, nothing's going to happen to you. It's just fine. If you get a DUI, you can stay forever. These are who they want. If you beat up a cop, you get released without bail. If you're an American citizen, you go to jail. Minor details. We're second-class citizens in our own country. So my father said, we're going to fix that. And he's got the track record to actually do that. And then we're going to drill and bring back our energy independence so we're not dependent on despots all over the world for our energy needs.
Common sense makes sense. Before we let you go, any thoughts, any rumblings on a vice presidential ticket pick?
You know, listen, we got a long way to go. We have to see, you know, definitely know some high-level candidates, but I'm going to leave that to him to decide. I'm not going to spill the beans just yet, but I think there's some very good options out there.
He did say at one point, I think in a Fox interview, that he's decided who it's going to be.
I think he may have been trolling you a little bit. We definitely know the short list. I'm not sure if it's 100% in.
I've been known to be able to be trolled by Donald Trump in the past. Thank you, Don.
I think everyone has.
Donald Trump Jr., thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Have a good one.